What did the popular kid at your school do to go from cool to an absolute outcast? He got drunk and killed a family of 4 in a car accident. That's so dark. Killed an infant in a car accident, completely shut down during senior year, wouldn't talk to anybody anymore. Uck Jesus. That sounds like one of those situations which ends horribly for every single person involved. Blah. Yeah, there wasn't really anybody at fault either, it was just a massive case of bad luck. People reached out to him for a while, but eventually I think people just couldn't keep stressing themselves over it. If there were social situations outside of school, I didn't know about them, but in school he was pretty much a self-inflicted pariah. That poor baby and poor guy. A few years after I was out of school, a kid I knew killed a baby by shaking it. I remember being several steps removed from this person but still feeling abhorrently sick when I heard about what happened. But in that situation there was someone to blame, so to speak. In what you are describing, there wasn't really anything that could be done. In some ways I wonder if that doesn't actually make the whole grieving adjusting process worse. Crack. He and his couple friends started smoking crack senior year of high school. They got quarantined to themselves. Ran into one of them a couple weeks ago. He kept trying to get me back to their apartment to do meth. Well, at least he's off the crack. He upgrades to Crack Plus. The iCrack S Plus. Most popular kid in my middle school was this big Samoan dude. Looked like he was 13 going on 25 years old. I remember he gained a lot of popularity when he serenaded this girl in class to ask her to the dance. He had music playing on his iPhone and he started belting out love songs while on bended knee. Later on that year he went from hero to zero when we found out he'd been molesting his sister. 0 to 100 real duckin' quick. Drugs. You're the cool kid in 9th grade if you're smoking weed all the time. You're not the cool kid in 12th grade if you're addicted to heroin. Sent his girlfriend's naked pics to the whole school. Wow, what a scumbag. The worst part of it was the excuse he gave. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to send it to everyone. Just a couple guys from the basketball team. He ended up switching schools. Yeah, still illegal, dumbass. And a dick move. He was popular because he was a rebel that talked back to teachers, and insulted them openly. He became an outcast because he made the teacher everyone loved cry. I had a guy in my class do this recently, nobody really talks to him anymore. Rule 1 of school, don't duck with the cool teachers. Edit, and don't be a douche to the not so cool ones. Killed 2 university students while drunk driving and then complained because she wouldn't be able to go to the bar and get drunk on her 18th birthday. How shallow and narcissistic do you have to be to pull this shit? Ducking hell. There's someone further up who killed a kid entirely by accident and went into self-imposed isolation because of the guilt. Pretty ducking shallow and narcissistic. Unfortunately, I know a girl from high school who hit a stroller while plastered. She had 2 fucking miracles happen to her that year. 1, the child wasn't in the stroller, the mom had pulled them out while talking to a friend, and 2, somehow the judge didn't hit her with the book and agreed to let her keep her license and skip jail with the condition of probation, no drinking and mandatory AA. She posted on Facebook, probation starts tomorrow, who wants to get plastered before I can anymore. She didn't even make it 1 day. He hooked up with 2 of his friends' girlfriends. They ditched him after that. Edit, people are asking why the girls went along with it. This was high school, and there was a lot of partying and alcohol. No excuses, but for a lot of people, it was their first time getting drunk and completely wasted. Edit 2, one guy dumped his girlfriend for cheating but the other one didn't. I guess it was because she was his first love and childhood sweetheart, so he forgave her. This kid in middle school used to talk shit to everyone. He had nice stuff his parents got him and everyone thought he was tough and could fight, until one day he started on a special needs kid. Nobody had ever actually seen the popular kid fight, he just was excellent at intimidation. Now a lot of the special needs kids in my area weren't just students who were mentally challenged, but had overall learning disabilities. Many of those kids came from very tough homes, and the special needs kid who the popular kid messed with was an absolute savage. He grew up in a pretty tough part of town but was really a gentle giant. He could play football, he was muscular, he could do everything the regular students could do except speak properly. A minor speech impediment. The popular kid challenged him to a one-on-one fight and got his ass kicked by the special needs kid. I'm talking blood everywhere, his clothes got ripped, one of his sneakers landed like 10 feet away, and to top it all off he even tried running away after the first few punches. The special needs kid grabbed him and pulled him back. It was a massacre. The popular kid not only lost all of his influence but didn't even have the guts to come back to school for like a week. If I ever saw instant karma, it would have had to have been on this day because he was quiet as a mouse the rest of the years through high school. A lot of the special needs kids in my elementary to high school were pretty regular, they just had anger problems, so everyone knew not to say anything too offhand. My boyfriend in junior high school told one of the special needs kids his breath was stale and he got his head busted open on the side of the building. I was friends with one of the girls in special ed. When she found out her BF was cheating, she knocked the other girl out with one punch, and kept going. It was brutal. She was beautiful and smart, just easily provoked. Neither of them got suspended though. Edit? School administrator here. In the US, schools cannot suspend a child with an IEP, individualized education plan, without reconvening the entire IEP team, teachers, specialists, parents, administrators, nurse, etc. The team then would have to determine whether the behavior was a manifestation of the child's disability or not. If it is a manifestation, then interventions and other strategies to manage the behavior need to be tried to ensure that we're not unfairly punishing a child for something they cannot control. If not a manifestation, then the child can be suspended. After a certain number of manifestation meetings, then a child could potentially be outplaced to a special school. It's possible that manifestation meetings were held and you weren't aware of it. #X200B, edit, schools can suspend kids up to a certain number of days before holding the manifestation meeting. Thank you Snowdrag for the reminder. Most of the administrators I know personally really think long and hard before doing so anyway in the case of IEP students and try to go for less intense punishments first. She tried to manipulate all her friends and pit them against each other with a bunch of catty lies. Well, that in combination with wearing her pageant sash and crown to school for like a week. All-girls school. Was your friend Iago by any chance? There was a guy that was pretty popular. He got really drunk at a party and totally didn't know where he was. He pulled down his pants, squatted and totally started to poop. He moved away immediately. He was a senior and I was in 8th grade, that was well over 25 years ago. Well, he friended me on Facebook a couple months ago and I kinda recognized him. I racked my brain and it came to me, the guy who pooped at the party. Poor guy. Sometimes when I'm pooping at home in my own bathroom I think, what if I'm delusional and I'm really somewhere else? What if I fell asleep at work, and I'm dreaming and pooping in my chair? What if I wake up and there's poop everywhere? It haunts me. You are not alone. I've had the same awful thought. I think it's because I have had so many dreams where I am peeing or pooping and it's in really weird places. For instance, like 2 nights ago I dreamt I was on a toilet in the back of a truck, pooping, while the car was driving and water kept splashing my butt. You are not alone. This is the power of the internet. I thought I was just one lone weirdo until this moment. 30 years ago we never would have found each other, but today, we are not alone. Well, the popular girl at my school tried to ruin the life of a really sweet girl because of boyfriend drama. When she realized people were standing up for the sweet girl instead, she lost her mind. Accusing the other girl and her boyfriend of property damage, turning on anyone who didn't swear loyalty to her, turning people against one another, screaming at teachers. It was a mess. The nail in the coffin was when she confided to me and 2 others that she was planning to put laxatives in the pastries she baked for the class. Obviously I let people know, and she became completely ostracized. She left at the end of junior year, and senior year was the most chill year ever. I don't blame you for letting people know, you can't let that shit slide. Unbelievable smooth comment. He seduced a quiet girl in school. She was really soft-spoken but super nice to everyone, basically everyone's little sister. She was absolutely beloved by everyone in her year, and he was a year older. He was her first love, and he ducked her once, took her virginity, and then essentially abandoned her. She was devastated by it, and it broke her for the rest of the time she was at school. She went right into her shell and barely spoke to anyone. When he started bragging about what he did, everyone hated him. He even got beat up a few times because people were so angry at what he did.